Hello and welcome, online moneymakers. This is Michelle Brubaker here with you. I'm excited that you're here. I'm always excited that you're here. I love sharing with you. I love bringing amazing guests on this show to help you to earn money on the internet. And in this episode, I'm going to talk to you eyeball to eyeball, you and me, Michelle and you, about shiny object syndrome. You know what? We need to learn how to stay focused, how to achieve our business goals, because you know what? I do it. You know what? This is that thing that people say, squirrel, right? Squirrel. And I do that. Oh my gosh, it's totally true. Confession, I do it. I am a squirreling person. I have been able to overcome a lot of it, and I'm going to share that with you today. One of the other things that I call it sometimes is creative avoidance. And I'm a master at the art of creative avoidance, because those other things need done too, right? So whether you call it shiny object syndrome, squirreling, or creative avoidance, that's what we're going to talk about today. Because you know what, when we start something and then we go, oh, there's a shiny thing over there, and then I go do that, and then I start it, and then I start the next thing and the next thing, and when I haven't finished that first thing, and I've done that before in my own book publishing business too. And I've got books that I've started and I haven't finished those books. I have a whole list of domains in my GoDaddy, right? All those domain names. I'm really great at coming up with them, by the way, but they don't all have websites with them. Or I have a whole list of online courses. I've done a lot of online courses in the last 12 months, and it's been wonderful. It's been great, but I have a whole other list of them that I haven't started yet. So if you've been thinking of doing something, you haven't launched it yet, you haven't finished it yet, you keep getting scrolling around, you keep doing that creative avoidance thing and shiny object syndrome, I'm speaking to you right now because I know also that you probably are buying stuff. You're buying stuff like courses, you're buying stuff online, and then you don't finish the course, right? Yeah, this happens. I've done it. I have a list of courses I've bought online and haven't finished. In fact, some really, really expensive ones. And that really frustrates me. So we all have done this. You know what? We don't complete it. We don't stick to our plan. So what I want to do is I'm going to talk to you today about, why do we do this? The real reasons. What's the real reasons I do this? And some of the things that I've been doing to help me to move forward so that I can achieve the goals that I want to. I'm going to tell you what the action steps that I personally do, what Michelle does, the things that are working for me so that I can go through those and help you with it too. So let's see. I want to welcome everybody that's here today. Let me go online. Welcome those of you who are watching on Facebook. Welcome if you're watching on YouTube. If you have questions or feedback or would like to share, of course, I love those thumbs up. I love the hearts. So please give those. If you know somebody who's interested in this topic, please feel free to tag them or share this video with them too. So alrighty, let me go back to my notes here. Why do we do this? This is that thing that entrepreneurs do. I think that shiny object syndrome, the name of it, was named because of entrepreneurs. Right? That's where it came from, is because of us, because we see that thing, And I had looked up and seen something online, and it said that Entrepreneur Magazine. This is why I think they came up with it, because of entrepreneurs, is because Entrepreneur Magazine called it the disease of distraction, right? Disease of distraction. Oh my gosh, we have a disease, right? No. But we can overcome this one. The thing that really causes me to do it, and this may be a reason why you do it too, is that I love new stuff, right? Okay, it might be new technology, right? I want the next new tech, right? I want the next new shiny thing, the next thing. It might be the next new idea or the big new venture or opportunity on the internet that comes along. People are like, oh, have you tried this? Are you doing this program? Are you doing that program? And I love the new stuff. They're just popping up everywhere. It's popping up, but whether it is online, you're seeing in your email box, and they are really good at selling that stuff, And so that's those new things. That's one of the things that pulls me away and distracts me. So that might be one of the reasons that you do it. Some other reasons that you might do it is maybe you're bored. or maybe you're not interested in what it is you're doing. And that's not a good thing. We're going to talk about that too. But, you know, when you actually have had some successes, and I've had many, but let's say you created your first product, maybe you published your first book, created a course, started getting a following on social media, and you know what, it starts to get really, really exciting. It is so exciting, like when you're like checking your bank account and there's money in it every day for once in a while, you know, that kind of thing, and you're actually selling stuff, and then you get really motivated and you get really excited, and then when that happens, your creativity gets even stronger and more, and you have more ideas, and you get more motivated, and you get more excited with things, and it starts to become even addicting in a way. That's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually really a great thing that we have so many ideas. It's a great thing that we can have a success, and we want to build on it and make more successes. And if you're like me, I want to help everybody, and so that's one of the things. Like, okay, when I'm over helping somebody else, I'm not on my goals. I'm not working on my goals right now at this very minute because I'm sharing with you today. And I should be working on my next course and my next, launch of things. But I'm here sharing with you today. And I love that. It's something that I enjoy doing. But what time spent in one area is time taken away from the other. So even though we get so excited about things, realize that is actually a good thing too. We just need to put it in perspective. Watch how many things that we say yes to, and I'm working on that. I mentioned all those domain names I have in GoDaddy. Oh my goodness. And I have so many ideas. I could take one domain name and come up with a really cool online store idea, and I could just blow it all up, and I could start actually building the site out and doing everything. And the next thing I know, I just spent a whole day on that new thing when I didn't finish my other thing. And that happens to me. Happens to me all the time. Or my next book title, or my next, hey, I need to start doing Pinterest marketing, or whatever that, could be marketing ideas. There's a million marketing ideas too. And that next marketing idea is the thing that's like, everybody's doing that and I'm not doing it, and I better go do that. But then it's taking me away from what I'm doing, what I'm currently trying to achieve, and what my goal is right now at this moment in time. So I had a video, I talked about this a little bit it was probably a couple months ago, on time management, because I used to be a trainer with the local community colleges in leadership, and I would teach to huge companies, corporate, city municipalities and government places, and I would talk about time management. And one of the things, and I talked about that in that video I shared with you a couple of months back, so go watch that. It's a really great video about how to get more done and enjoy the lifestyle that you really want from an entrepreneur perspective. And in that video, I talked about those 3 keys. It's not just time management, but it's also energy management. And here's the big one, and this one applies to what we're talking about today, and that is attention management. It applies to attention management too, and that's that thing that keeps us from squirreling. So I encourage you and challenge you to go back and watch that video, specifically the part on attention management. So there's lots of reasons why we do this, and what I was doing today, this morning, I was looking back at the last 90 days in my business. Okay, the last 90 days, and looking at what that big project is that I'm working on, which I'm actually working on about 4 big projects right now. Okay, but specifically one of them, and why isn't that one particular project done? Why isn't it done? And it's because I've took on some other projects and took on some other things, and I believe those things are really going to be profitable. They're also fun. So fun takes me away from it. But all those things that we're busy at, and here I am, I'm telling you again, okay, all those things that we're keeping busy at. Let me put my cup down. Busy doesn't mean that we're going to achieve our goals. I can be busy out doing things. I'm so busy, doing all these things. But just because I'm busy doing things and doing stuff doesn't mean I'm over here getting my goal done. So unless busy equals my goal, and those two are married up together, then I'm not getting it done. I'm not getting it done. And what I want to share with you too is how when we are taken away from that thing, that we aren't able to focus on the thing that's really going to bring us the results. I had a Zoom I was on this last week with my local networking organization that I'm a part of. I'm going to take a drink of my tea. Feel free to leave a question or comment there. Isn't that hilarious? Look at that right there. That is a mug with Christmas snowflakes on it. And at the time of this recording of this video, it's actually August and nearly 100 degrees outside. So those of you who are watching are probably like, Michelle, you need to do your dishes, right? So that you're not drinking out of a Christmas mug in August, right? But I'll bet you've done it too when you've been in the middle of a big goal. Yeah. Anyway, on that local networking event that I was on a Zoom with this last week, the speaker mentioned that it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at something, all right? 10,000 hours, and you've probably heard that before too, which equates to several years. And so what she said was how when you move from one thing to the other, that 10,000 hours, like it starts over. It extends longer because we don't stick with the one thing that you become an expert at. And whether that's, I'm trying to learn to play guitar or I'm trying to run a marathon, whatever that thing is, when I'm jumping around, I'm not getting it done. And you know what? I am totally, all the fingers are pointing back at me right now in this one. See, I can't point at you because they're all pointing back at me. My poor husband, my family for years saw me bounce and bounce and bounce around one thing to the other. And I'm here to tell you how excited and proud of me they are, what I've accomplished in the last several years. And I know that can happen for you too. And I think back that maybe I shouldn't have jumped around all the times that I jumped around. Okay. And that it's not just in business that we do that, right? We do that in our eating, our health habits. Hey, I'm going to go on a diet. We're just hopefully coming out of COVID here pretty soon. And what's our eating habits? How many of us have put on 5 pounds, maybe 10 pounds, whatever that is, right? And it's like, oh, there's the no carb diet, the low carb diet. I'm going to quit eating sugar. I'm going to do this fitness program. There's this other fitness program. We scroll around from one thing to the other in our health, in our life, whatever that is. And we're distracted instead of sticking to that one thing. And just a little quick note, health is our first wealth. So we definitely don't want to get distracted from that. And again, the fingers are all pointed back at me on that one. See, I can't point my finger at anybody else because I'm working on that too. So looking back at those 90 days, like I mentioned a moment ago, with our business income goals, maybe why didn't we complete it? Or maybe you completed only half of it, okay? I want you to think about where would you be right now today? So I'm looking back 90 days from now, like 90 days from today in the past, and I was hoping to be at a certain place right now in business. Okay, if you were. And what were those things? Where would I have been right now had I done it? Okay. Had I finished that right now, here it's the end of August, so the beginning of summer, where did you want to be by the end of summer? And this applies if you're watching the replay, whether you're watching the fall or the spring or the winter, if you're looking at things quarterly. So what I want to do is tell you that my 5 tips. I want to tell you my 5 tips. My 5 things. Here's what I've been doing to help me to get there. And I have, I've done really well. I'll just say that in the last 12 months, better than I have in my entire life, ever in my life. And so I can speak to this subject because it's dear to my heart too. This is a thing that happens to me. And that's why I wanted to bring this topic to you, because I know that I'm not the only one out here. And how did I go from Michelle is the procrastinating squirrel that is very good at mastering the art of creative avoidance to having my best year I've ever had in my entire life. So financially and all of that. So I want to tell you what are some of those things, you know what? Because although I am very good at planning, I'm an excellent planner. I have notebooks full of all of my ideas and planning things. And I'm a woman of great intentions. One of my friends said that. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm a woman of good intentions here. But I didn't always follow through with those. So here's 5 things. These are my 5 things. And I'm going to check real quick, see if we have any comments or questions. I see that you're watching there, and I'm so happy that you're watching. If you have questions or feedback, give me a like or a thumbs up, or I like the little hearts too. Bring me a heart. So here we go. I'm going to go through my 5 things. Here they are. And this may apply to you, may not. I'll bet at least some of these 5 things might help you to overcome shiny object, squirrel, creative avoidance problem. All right. So number 1 is I need to assess my needs. What is Michelle's needs? What is your needs? Okay. Because you know what? I have to say, do I really need this? Do I need this thing? Do I need to do this thing? Do I need this thing? Especially, you know, new software programs. I totally geek out on that stuff. Oh my gosh. I'm working on a project right now where I was out with my husband this week and I said, oh my gosh, I'm just so geeking out on this. And I love that stuff. I'm eating this stuff up. It's amazing. In that case, I actually do need what that software is doing for me. But assessing your needs, do you really need that software program? Do you really need that course? Okay. Those things change rapidly because you know what? I'm going to see somebody else out there is doing this program or that program. And I'm going to be like, oh, maybe I should jump over to that program. Maybe I should jump over to this program, you know, but the latest and greatest thing doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be successful, right? It means I need to take action to be successful. So if you're one of those people that go over here and over there and over there and over there and buy all these programs, all the courses, all the software programs, I'm going to tell you right now, here it is. I'm going to tell you, stop buying stuff. Quit buying stuff. You know what? There's so much hype out there. You know what? And I'm even telling you, don't buy my stuff, right? Okay. I'm not just saying about anybody's stuff. Quit buying stuff. Buying stuff doesn't make things better. It's only the action that you take, you know, so I need to assess that and be, you know what? Can I design my own books? Yes, you can, by the way. Can you design your own website? Probably, if you just start with an easy one. I could probably design my own business cards. You know what? I did not fork out the money for email software, email program software. And there's so many of them out there and you can get it for $10 a month. You can get them for $200 and $300 a month and everywhere in between. But you know what? My first 2 months of having online classes, I did not invest in email software program. I just sent it through my email in Gmail. That's free. It's absolutely free. So I didn't have to jump over here. Oh, now I should do this program. And now I should do this one. And this expert says I should use that program, right? No, you just need to get to work and get it done and not be squirreling all around. And you seriously just need to assess what are your needs, okay? Do it yourself first if you need to. So my number 1 thing is really assess what are my needs. Do I really need this? Do I really need to accept this next project that somebody's bringing to me? Do I really need to do this joint venture project? Do I really need that software program? And really assess your needs. So number 1 is assess your needs. And I hope that helps you, number 1, to assess your needs and really know, do I really need this before I throw down the money? And it's not just money, it's time that takes you away from what you're really trying to achieve. All right. So that's number 1. Number 2, be really clear on your goals. And you know what? Everybody says it, but I'm going to tell you the way that I see it. I see it differently. So I see a lot of things differently sometimes, right? So what I want you to be clear on your goals with is by putting something with it, attaching either a dollar figure, money, attach money to it. That usually will do it. Put money to it or put an object to that and compare that thing to your goal. All right. So when I ask, is that in alignment with that particular goal? So if I'm looking at my next book idea and I'm thinking, okay, and that happens too all the time. I'll see something, oh, that'd be a great idea for a notebook or a journal or a coloring book or something. And because I've sold, as of this video anyway, about 22,000 books, I'm always getting ideas for books all the time. So, but you know what? I can't do everything. I can't be like, okay, that's a great idea for a book. But when I do my research, I see that, hey, it might make me $5. I'm after that project that will make me $500 a month, every single month after month after month. And I know that that's my goal. So when I'm accepting projects, and it doesn't matter if you're a freelancer and you're doing projects online or whatever that is, you put the dollar figure to it. So, excuse me, let's say that somebody wants me to do a project and it's worth $50. Okay. You decide what your project's worth. Okay. But my threshold is that 500 number. So for me, I want to work on something that's at that project level. And I have to assess my goal with that and be really clear on my goal. So when I'm saying I'm being clear on my goal, what I mean is it in alignment with that thing? Okay. And I want to keep that goal in front of me at all times. You know, I've shared this a couple times in my mastermind group. This is my little, make sure my video can see it there. This is my little sheet. It used to be in a notebook. Oh, there it is. It used to be in a notebook, but now it is on this paper because I took it out of the notebook. I didn't want to just have to see it in my notebook all the time. I put it out of my notebook and now it's on my refrigerator. It's on my refrigerator. So this is my goals right here. See, I'm making stuff happen. See the goal, slay the goal, repeat it. So these things here, this is a picture of me 10 pounds lighter. So I'm working on that one still. Okay. I'll let you know when I hit that one, hopefully in the next 90 days, right? And this is a picture of an RV. And I cut out a picture of me and my little dog in there. And so that's us. By the way, I've had that for the last 12 months, and my residual income from my passive book royalties, it comes out of that account. So it's been paid for ever since. And then this is a hot tub, which I bought 3 months ago, except mine's round, not square like that. And I love it. And this is a new horse barn. I live on a farm, so I don't have that new horse barn yet, but I'm going to. And I'm updating this. So one of the things I'm updating my little goal poster with, it's on the fridge, is I want to trade my car in or get a new car. And I've picked out the kind of car that I want. And this weekend, my husband and I, we were at an event with some other car enthusiasts. And I saw a woman who had the car like I want to get. And so I got acquainted with her, wonderful lady. Her name's Debbie. She's from Cascade Locks, Oregon, which is a beautiful, beautiful place in the Columbia River Gorge between Oregon and the state of Washington. And so I saw Debbie, my new friend Debbie, and she had the car that I wanted. So I said, Debbie, could you take a picture of me with your car? Because that's the kind of car I want to get by the end of the year when I pay off my other car. And so she's like, yeah. So I'm going to show you that picture of the car, because actually I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on a coffee mug. Yeah, then I don't have to look at one that has snowflakes on it for Christmas, right? I'm going to have it printed on a coffee mug so I drink it every day. Okay, so here's the car. See if I can get a picture of it. It's a purple Dodge Challenger. There's a lot of glare there. But anyway, you get the idea. It's a purple Dodge Challenger SRT. And so that's the car that I want to get. So I'm put that on in front of me, front and center. So then when I'm looking at that next goal, I'm like, okay, is it getting me closer to that next goal? Now you might be having a vacation or a family, or you want to take a week or a month off or something. Whatever that goal is, assess that with it. Be clear on your goals and go like, you know what? Is that in alignment with that? Is that going to get me closer to that? So being clear on your goals. So assessing, do you need this? Being clear on your goals, okay? Number three, give yourself a timeline. And with a timeline that I'm talking about is before you jump into the next thing, okay? And that happens because I'm so good in my mind of thinking of things, and I get all these ideas. I'm an idea factory. I wake up at 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a great new idea. And I want to just leap out of bed and get started on it. I've got myself to the point now where I'll try not to buy any domain names while I'm still asleep in bed. Because I have a big, huge list of domain names, as I mentioned before, for product ideas and course ideas. And then I don't want to lose the whole next day because I'll roll out of bed and get started on it, right? Because you know what? I heard a gal a while back ago, and she said to make every day count. Okay, if I'm working on my goals, make every day count, because I gave up a day of my life for it. And so that timeline to me is like, you know what? I want to really think it through before I jump into the next thing. And the timeline I've personally given Michelle Brubaker is 2 weeks. And if I'm still thinking about that idea 2 weeks from now, then I might go ahead and go forwards with it. But if I go jumping into it, then I'm totally scrolling every day from one thing to the next. Today, I'm going to start doing Pinterest marketing. Tomorrow, I'm going to start an extra show on my YouTube channel, or open a second YouTube channel, or all of those. And pretty soon I've scrolled all around. So giving yourself a timeline, that timeline for you might be, you know what, I have this new book idea, whatever that idea is, or a new course idea, or I want to start my own show, whatever that is. start a second show. There's people who have 2-3 podcasts out there. So whatever that thing is, give yourself a timeline and think, you know what? That's a wonderful idea. It's a great idea. I still have all these other things I'm working on. But you know what? If that idea is still sitting with me after this period of time, then you know what? Maybe I'll consider going forwards with it. I mean, this show right here, I had the idea for this show nearly 3 years ago. And we have done so many episodes so far, but I didn't even start it till, from today's date, it's probably only been a few months in. And so here it was 3 years ago from today. And now I finally am getting started going with it. And it's been a wonderful journey, a wonderful step. But give yourself a timeline and think, okay, what's my timeline? If I'm still thinking about this a couple weeks later, that might be yours. Maybe it's a week, a day, a month, a year, whatever. But give a timeline. That's what helps me. And if I'm still thinking about it, then I might move forwards with it. And number four, have an awareness. Be aware that, hey, you know what? I know that I have shiny object syndrome, right? I know I have this. I know that I tend to squirrel. I have an awareness. And probably if you do it, people have probably told you. People have told me. Okay. But what I want you to know about that too is that you have to say yes to some things also, because some of those opportunities are going to present themselves to you that you might actually, have to say yes to. But you have to be open to saying yes to those things and realize that, hey, that's a great opportunity and I do need to take advantage of it right now. For example, one of the ladies in my mastermind group, in the middle of COVID, sold $12,000 in face masks, and had she not took that opportunity to jump into that right at that moment, that was the peak moment in time for that, and to be able to provide that products and services for people who are seeking them in that peak timing, she had to be open to that. So although that might be like, hey, am I squirreling, or is that a really great idea? So I need to have that awareness and be like, okay, I need to be saying yes. Do I need to say yes or no to this thing? Because, the shiny object syndrome, that's that problem with thinking and taking action, but it's that action. Am I taking action at the right time? Am I taking action for the right opportunities? So being aware that, hey, you know what? I do this shiny object thing. But is this a real opportunity that's presenting it to me? And do I need to say yes, or do I need to say no to this thing? So even looking back, like I said earlier, looking back at the past 90 days, have you squirreled? See, I'm telling you, be aware, have an awareness. Have I squirreled? Have I shiny object thing? Have I creative avoidance? Take a moment to have an awareness and think, yes or no, did I do this? And so I can take some of these actions and make the right decision, yes or no, on should I do something. So that's number 4, and I have one more to go. So excited that you all are watching with me today, and I hope that this is helpful. Number 5. This is one I've done, and it works. It does. It really does. And that is forcing yourself to do it. Okay. In other words, putting yourself under pressure. You're putting yourself under the gun to do it. Okay. With a timeline. So for example, on this Online Moneymaker show, when I said and put it out there, this is going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays at this particular time of day, I have to show up because it's out there and people are there. You're there. You're watching right now. People are watching live. So I put myself under the gun with that. There's pressure for me to show up and be here come heck or high water. I'm here at 11 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays for this show. So how can you force yourself to do that? I've done that with other classes in my own personal business with publishing and teaching people how to earn passive royalties by publishing books on Amazon. And those classes, I mean, when I did a cookbook class in Christmas time and I said, hey, does anybody want to do a cookbook class? And everybody jumped on. I said, yes, do it. And I put the date out there and bam, I had to do it. I had to get it done. And so putting a date to something and telling people about it and being accountable to it forces you have no choice. You have to show up and do it. So if there's a way that you can do that, if you don't like that pressure and it's hard for you, it might not be the thing to do. Some of us can get things done under pressure, right? There's people in the world that can do their taxes on April 14th instead of the 15th, right? Yeah, because the IRS requires you to get done on a certain day. Some people, you have that deadline that's out there. And I know personally too, if I have somebody that calls me on the phone and says, Michelle, I'm in the neighborhood, I'm gonna stop by for a visit in 15 minutes. I can probably finally get the kitchen table cleaned off and the coffee table, looking down at it right now, and get that all cleaned off in 15 minutes because I know that I'm under that pressure that's there, right? And so even people who have a health condition, right? You probably have heard somebody maybe you've known in your life that has had a health condition that said, hey, if you don't lose weight, or if you don't stop eating sugar, or in my case, if I don't get moving and get some physical activity for my low bone density, if I don't get moving, I can have a catastrophic problem later in life. So and so those people where the doctor says you do it or else, then they finally do because they're forced to do it. We don't want to live like that where we are forced to do something with our health and our fitness. But putting yourself in that position where you're kind of forced and under pressure, you know, making yourself have to do it by a particular date. If you're like, hey, I've been meaning to launch this course for a while, and you still keep saying you're doing it and you haven't launched that course, put the date out there, put the audience and get the sign up list. And you know what? You only have to stay a day ahead of people. If that works for a lot of people. If you just stay a day ahead of them or a week ahead of them, you can get that course done and get it out there. Done's better than perfect. I always say that, right? You can always go back and edit things later on. Just get it out there. So put yourself under the pressure is number 5, is in my tips to get it done. And so as I wrap up today, I want to tell you how I shared this with my email list a couple of weeks ago. My husband and I are into motorsports, and in our motorsports, because we have a big drag car, and we had been all year fixing and getting things ready to go on this. And we worked our butts off. You know, we got all the parts, we got it all put together, we got the trailer, everything loaded up, and we went out to the track and, you know, unloaded, and we get all ready to go. We go up to the staging lane. We wait in the staging lane till it's our turn to test out our new motor, really big motor, like 500 horsepower, something, I don't remember. No, 555 motor. It has way more than that horsepower because it has a blower and runs on methanol fuel. So this sucker could potentially go 200 miles an hour. It's a very fast car. So we pull up to the line, and the lights go down, you know, on the Christmas tree. It's what it's called because the lights. And you're in that line, and he takes off and does this fantastic burnout, rubber burning everywhere, and the smoke is flying. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Like, yeah, finally we're there. And then the lights come down, and they go yellow, 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 green, take off. And he takes off, and something doesn't work. After all of that, you know, after all of those things, it doesn't work. And so we had to go back. We had to get things fixed. We had to get things prepared. And I share that story with you because we worked our butts off. It was really hot out, very, very hot out. You're sweating in places and things that are sticking together. It's just, right? Okay. But you know what? It was fun. Okay. How many times have you ever said, this isn't very much fun, or it totally sucked, but it was worth it. It was worth it because we pushed through and we got through to do it. And we just sent it out to get it was the magneto. There's a problem in the spark with it, and it's repaired, and we're getting it back installed on there. And then, you know, we got a great killer picture with the burn in and the nose lifting off the ground. It was really super awesome. But how many times have you thought, you know what, that wasn't fun, or that totally sucked, but in the end, it was totally worth it. Totally worth it. And so what I want to do is challenge you to take action. You know what? Okay. When we were up at that starting line, I was right next to him in my little golf cart so I could tow him back when he's done running. And you know what? We were there. Everybody's in the grandstands. The people are all around watching. We're committed. We are committed now. There's accountability right there because people are waiting for you, right? People are waiting for what you have to offer and waiting for what you have to give them. There's a whole world of people out there that are waiting for these things. So I want to challenge you to go out there and do them. If you need help with focusing on things, go back and watch that time management video. Talks about attention management in there and ways to eliminate distractions if that's an area. But I want you to know that you can really, you can reap the biggest rewards, okay, when you stick to it. If you just stick to it and see it through, okay? And if you need help, then those 5 things, assess your needs, right? Do I really need this thing? So I'm not squirreling, okay? Be clear on my goals. Put it in front of me. Put it on a mug, a picture, a sticky note, something. Be clear on my goals. Is everything in alignment with that? And then give yourself a timeline. If you come up with so many ideas and you can't figure out which ones to do, say, you know what, if I'm still thinking about it this time, then I'll go forwards with it. And then be aware, have an awareness that says, you know what, see, this is a great opportunity. I know I squirrel. Should I do this? Should I not? And be able to make those yes or no decisions based on my awareness of, am I using my squirrel problem here, right? Am I having a problem with shiny object syndrome, or is this really a great opportunity for me to do? And number 5, if I need to put myself under pressure by putting a date out there, putting it out there for the world to make myself accountable, then do it. And I want to encourage you to finish things. Okay? That's where all the rewards are at the finish of it. So rather than doing things halfway or changing lanes, right? Okay. In racing, if you keep changing lanes, you're going to crash into the other driver, crash into the wall if you keep changing lanes, right? And it's also very confusing to the audience. Okay. If I change lanes, I'm going to be all over the place, and my audience is going to be like, what? Okay. And then celebrate your success. I'm coming up right now on a very big goal, and the biggest goal I've achieved, a really neat goal for me, Michelle. And I think that's probably going to wrap up this next month. And I've set a really great celebration for myself. I want to rent a Lamborghini for 1 day or a half a day, depends on how much it costs. Yeah. But what is something that you can do to celebrate your success when you do it? Because that will be something you can put in front of you. Be like, hey, when I achieve that, I'm going to do this thing, or I'm going to celebrate in this way, and take that moment to rest and think about your next challenge and the next thing you're going to do. So look back 90 days from today, okay, and imagine if I had finished it, okay? And next time that you're distracted by something, oh, that looks like fun, am I avoiding something and doing something creatively to avoid something, okay? Practice your awareness, okay? And then think right now today. Now go forwards. Go forwards right now today. Right now today, I'm going to say today is, okay, the date 90 days from now on my calendar, okay? Do it right now. Get your calendar out. Get it on your phone. Click it on your computer. 90 days right now, okay? You're 90 days out, okay? Put that on your calendar, okay? And think right now, what is it you're going to achieve by that 90-day window, okay? Put it on the calendar and go out there and do it. Go out there and achieve it. Go out there and do it. You can. Imagine how great you're going to feel when you get that done. I know it's going to be great to me. In fact, go ahead and message me 90 days from now and be like, Michelle, how are you coming along? Did you achieve that big goal? Let's see the picture of the renting the Lamborghini for the day. I want to see that picture, right? Feel free to ask me about that, because I'm working really hard on that goal. So for you, what is the goal that in 90 days that you can achieve? Put it out in front of you. Have an awareness. Is the next thing that's going to pull me away and distract me, is that just one of those shiny objects, or is it really in alignment with what my goals are? So I want to thank you for watching today. If you have any comments or questions, I want to ask you to go ahead and leave a message there. Thank you. Thank you for those likes. I appreciate that. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a heart. I love those. I hope this helped you today. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel. Click the subscribe button and the little bell. There's a little bell icon up there. Click that button so you get notified when new videos come out. And if you know someone this video might help, tag them, share it with them, and go out there and make money. Okay, go make money. That's what it's about. And then go do good things in the world with it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Michelle Brubaker.